Hi, y'all. I know I have severely been neglecting this part of things, but I've also been gathering ideas, so it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good, y'all. This is usually what I do on Monday, which I call the work. Welcome to As Far as I Know, which is usually where I share my experiences, my opinions, what's going on in the world. And I kind of incorporate that into my tarot practice and spiritual practice, all of the things. And usually on Monday is when we do journal prompts, and I have a few unusual ways in which I make that happen, kind of to get you into the joy of writing, and so that, you will see it as fun. But today, okay, I also go over the energies, okay? And, we're rounding up this Gemini energy, which, thank you. I'm so over it. I have to admit, like, there are some really great things about Gemini, like the ideas that you will get, the details, what you'll look into, the learning, but as far as that being in your head energy, I'm not for it. I'm literally not for it, y'all. But we're coming up on the summer solstice, which is kind of coinciding with the full moon. Now, here was my issue this morning, and I think in my reading, I kind of announced the degrees of the moon wrong. So I'm sure someone will correct me about that, but the degrees of this full moon are it's at 1 degree. So any like cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Capricorn. Oh, I'm leaving somebody out. I can't remember, y'all. It's terrible. I'm sure someone else will pipe up. What's that fourth cardinal sign? Aries, Libra, Capricorn. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, let's move on from that. And basically, when it's in the early degrees is usually when we're starting something. And when it's in the late degrees, meaning 29, that is completion. Which there is another full moon in July in Capricorn as well. Capricorn deals with Saturnian things. Capricorn is Saturn. And so, we may be looking at, Saturn deals with our responsibilities, our journey, actually, in a lot of ways. I always feel with Saturn, it's like doing the right thing, right? And Saturn is a very taking a long time energy. For me, those are those long lessons. They're also Capricorn, of course, is connected to work and success and achievement. Capricorn energy never really feels bad to me, to be honest. But I'm not Saturn led. So I'm led by Mars. Yes, yes. And so, I mean, there are, you can find out through any astrology app, like, especially if you go to Google and you ask according to your rising sign, where the full moon is transiting, it will transit a house for you, and that's where a lot of the focus will be, right? For me, it's the ninth house, which is a Sagittarius house, which is about expanding your horizons, learning new things, going new places. But I digress. Let's get into it. This is a very magical moon. So usually the full moons are about releasing. Maybe you are releasing things that don't work, right? But it's so it may actually be a really great time because it's connected to the solstice to manifest. So what, you should do is look towards the winter solstice, right? What was happening in January? What were the things that you said you were going to do back in January? Like, and it's really, that's why I'm ignoring prompts, because this is a big kind of writing thing. First of all, as I understand it, the solstice starts on the 20th, but it's a whole season, right? And I believe that the full moon happens on the 21st. So you can, kind of get started on the solstice. I love rituals, okay? I love them, because it's just a really good way to tune your energy and your mind to the energy of what it is you're ritualizing, right? In this case, we're ritualizing summer. And what feels better than summer? Absolutely nothing. It's warm for some, it's really hot, but it is when, things are in full bloom. With spring, we're planting. So it's a good time for you to write about what has happened since January. How have things, like the seeds or the intentions that you planted, the things that you said you were going to do, how has that progressed? What have you noticed? So for me personally, I did a whole bunch of things, and a lot of the things that I did felt like things, I took a look back at things from my past that made me feel good. And because, we got to be joy chasers, right? And so I looked towards the things that made me feel good to do, to be in the past. And I just felt like it was really becoming more myself than I had been. It actually kind of had this effect on me that it reacquainted me with myself. And I think that's a way that you can look towards the past that is really positive. I'm not suggesting everyone do it, but changed my look. I totally did. Changed my hair. Um, and went back to being a redhead because for some reason, being a redhead makes me feel more myself than anything else. I'm not actually, naturally, I'm a blonde. I know, right? So I did all that, and I go through this thing where it's very interesting how it happens with me, and it happens with me a lot. Like, I will decide that, for one, maybe I should dress better, maybe I should have a more polished look, right? Because I was really, my main goal since then was, we have to become who we want to be, right? So, of course, one of my primary goals is to be successful, be a successful woman. So, basically, what I had said to myself was, I'm going to start doing the things that a successful business owner or a person with a successful business would do. And for a long time, I've really ignored my Virgo stellium, which really wants me to have order in my life and have, specifically when it comes to work and daily routines, to get organized. I had done more of that, and I did this thing where I went and I bought like all these clothes to have like a better look. And then I kind of said to myself, that's not how I want to dress. So I started looking back at the things, how I dressed in the past, who is really my authentic self. And my authentic self is a little boho, y'all. So, and of course, love the graphic t-shirts. So I say this to say that, like, you can find a lot of things in a lot of places. And sometimes the seeds you plant are great memories for you. I started reading again, and it really, like, I did it through challenges. So, um, somehow I got on Book Talk, right? And I started finding out about new books and stuff like that. And I just started reading, and I set a reading goal for myself so that I would do it, because I used to love reading, and it's reading all kinds of things, not just any one subject. And so far, I have a 20 book goal for June. I know it sounds like a lot, so I probably won't totally meet it all, but I've made a dent in it, and I'm really glad that I did it. And so, I'm a nerd, y'all. I am a nerd, but what I found was I just wanted more things in my life. But these more things don't have to be big, huge things. Because what I say all the time is that old keys don't open new doors. So if you keep doing things the same way, nothing new is going to happen. We all say we want these new things, but then we repeatedly do the same things. And I have found this with, like, some people that I know, and I'm just, not to put anyone on blast, but these would be people, women specifically, who are really interested in dating and finding someone and finding love. And while I agree that's a great cause, right? That's a great cause, but they keep doing the same thing. So, like I know someone specifically who, is on the apps, is on the apps, is on the apps, and then will date people from the apps, and the dates keep going the same way, right? So, like, my point is that you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. You have to do something a little different. Do I have the answer to what that is? It's going to be different for everyone. For me, I found a lot of joy and expansion through reconnecting with things that I loved, right? You should also note that a lot of shadow has come up. And so that is something also that you may want to write about. What was it that came up for you during this time? Because it really helps you. Your shadow helps you too. And for me, I have this, because I've done so much spiritual work, and specifically to be different, right? To be different, to be more independent, I left a lot of toxic patterns and people and all of that behind. And so what happens to me is that I get afraid of falling back into it. So sometimes I will, like, maybe overly judge situations or people. And so I have vastly, usually when we judge other people, it's because, it's responding to something in ourselves, right? And so, I had to really kind of open up to, people are going to do what they're going to do, but that doesn't mean that I can't like them. And I think I've talked about this before, especially if you are a Sagittarius, we do have that tendency. We do. We do. So, yeah. So, what I challenge you to do is to write about your last season. Write about the intentions that you set, the things you were going to do. Did you follow through with them? How did they go? And what are, because in that, you can actually, use that going forward, right? So, for instance, if you had a plan to do something, say you had planned to start your own business and you hadn't actually taken steps towards it, but that's something you don't want to let go of, then you have this chance, right? You have this chance to do that. So what are you manifesting in this season, in the summer season? What are you manifesting? What is it going to look like? And how, what did you learn in the spring season that is going to help? That is going to help. I mean, yeah, it's like for me, I had to stop making work everything. I really did. I feel like a lot of this energy too, because I was thinking so much about positivity this morning and how we can be more positive. And I was even thinking about a positivity challenge. And basically in that challenge is that you set a time. We're going to call it 30 days, right? 30 days where every day you write positive things about yourself, positive things about the people, the outside of you. You have positive things about your job, positive things about your friends, positive things about your loved ones. And, then you can also write positive things that have happened. Because I'm telling you what, when you flow into the energy, you'll be amazed at how the energy meets you. Okay? Even if you see something positive in what may be perceived as negative, it totally changes the thing. So I guess I kind of challenge you for 30 days to do that. It doesn't have to be a bunch of things. So in other words, it's a positivity challenge for 30 days. Write positive things about yourself. Write positive things about your outside world. And write positive things about your day. Just saying. So that's up to you. If you want to do it for 30 days, that is kind of a morning and a nighttime challenge, because you would have to come back at the end of the day and write positive things that happened during the course of the day. And I guarantee you will see things change. So what are we writing, y'all? We're writing what we learned in this last season, what we did, what we didn't do, what came up. What was it all about, right? And what we want to manifest in this next season, what we want our life to look like in this next season. And in that, you can write about, how you're going to further grow the things that you started, or new things you want to start, or maybe you feel like you failed at starting something and you're going to give it one more shot, right? Do it. Do it, y'all. And don't throw it away. Keep it somewhere where you can check in with it. Because that's something you can actually check in with on a constant basis, And maybe, the Capricorn full moon is like allowing you to get away from ways that just get in your way. Especially negative self-talk would be one of those things. Self-doubt, even habits that just don't serve you. Maybe it's giving it more of a try. You know what I mean? I'm right there with you. I have a few bad habits myself, right? So some things that you can do for summer solstice, right, are very nice. Like, it's a good time to do this writing because it's a highly manifesting time. It's also, we know it's the longest day in which we're celebrating the sun. So you definitely should get outside. You definitely should feel the sun in some way. You can, flower wreaths are a thing. I can't do it. I'm not artsy, but definitely collecting flowers, collecting things from outside. The colors are basically gold, red, orange, and really kind of decide what you want to attract and and use the color energy to help. Like that's part of color magic. So, candles accordingly if you can. Like if you want to attract love, it's red candles. You want to attract money, it's green candles. You want to attract happiness, it's yellow candles, or all of them. It's just a very much a day to feel good and celebrate feeling good. You can also include that in, like, what you eat, and put rose petals in your shoes so love follows you wherever you go. So there's lots of things you can do, but it's really about feeling good, feeling vibrant, feeling the sun. This is where we celebrate the sun. And so what is your next season going to look like? What's it going to look like? What are you going to do? So that's what I have for you. I hope it really helps, Toodles.